Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Sorry, no videos or nothing last night. I took the night off. And I went out with a friend and I didn't do any court stuff last night. Yep. But that's okay because KS sent me a text at like 4:30 p.m. And she says, Kathy, there's something crazy going on in Judge Boyd's courtroom right now. And I was like, okay, good. All right. I don't need to worry about tomorrow. So this stream is brought to you by KS. And I went out last night because KS had my content ready for me. Micah's pregnant? That's amazing. That's amazing, Micah. Micah's a superhero any way you look at it. I feel like telling you like the gun that I own so that you can comment on that, Micah, but I don't own one anymore. That was a long time ago. But I'm going to show you. Yes, it is. It's Boyd. Look at her purse, though, and her flowers. They are on point today. I love them both. So, this is about an attorney who's misbehaved. All I know is that the attorney secretly recorded his client, which fits in so good with yesterday's attorney who secretly recorded his office space sharer. I like it. I love that little crocheted look. But you're too young, Linus. You don't remember. In the 80s, we had these purses with wooden handles. And we could just change the purse. We kept the wooden handle and we could just put different purses on these wooden handles. And they were so cool. Everything was cool in the 80s. Every single thing. Jelly bracelets. Oh, jellies, the shoes. Our leg warmers. Everything was fluorescent. Our big, thick fluorescent shoelaces, Swatch watches, everything. Everything was cool in the 80s. Not like now. All right. Let's get going. Let's listen to this attorney misbehaving. So this is a motions hearing. And you would think if the attorney did this, attorney would be in the orange, but he's not. So I don't know what this is about. I don't know what's going to happen.
Motion to dismiss. Is that correct, defense?
Yes, Judge.
All right. And which motion do you wish to proceed on first?
I think we should begin with the motion to suppress.
All right. And let me just review your motion. All right. State, with regards to the motion to suppress, are you stipulating that the defendant was arrested without a warrant?
We are not, and state would tender at this time State's Exhibit 5, which is the warrant. We understand typically when there isn't a warrant, that would shift the burden. The state is still prepared to begin, but we would tender the actual warrant pending examination. Defense.
Judge, I'll stipulate to the fact that there was in fact a warrant issued. Would stipulate to that.
We
All
would
right.
still like to enter it. It may come in through one of our witnesses.
All right. And that State's Exhibit number?
5.
Just one moment. So any objection to State's Exhibit 5 for the purposes of this hearing only?
There's no objections to that.
All right, then State's Exhibit number 5 will be admitted for purposes of this hearing.
That was Sophie.
And the court will note for the record that the defense has stipulated that there was in fact a warrant. So because there was a warrant, defense, you may proceed.
Well, Judge, when we begin with our motion to suppress, we believe that the central issue here is not the warrant, so to speak. but that the state's primary evidence comes from a secretly recorded attorney-client conversation between Ronald and his former lawyer, Mr. Ireland. The conversation occurred in a confidential legal setting during a time of high emotional stress on the part of my client, and in a context where Ronald was actually seeking legal advice and not making public threats. We argue that the recording should be suppressed for two real core reasons. First off, there's a breach of confidentiality and the attorney-client relationship. So even if Mr. Ireland is a party to the recording, this was a protected consultation. The decision to record, share, and weaponize that conversation violates the principles of trust and candor embedded in our legal system among lawyers. The second reason that we think that the recording should be suppressed is because the resulting statement, it lacks reliability. The state offers a paraphrase.
All right, counsel, just 1 second. If we can start with, you're saying that there's an attorney-client privilege that's been violated by the attorney?
We believe that.
Okay.
And the reason for that is there's disciplinary rules regarding attorney-client confidentiality privileges. This was a privilege that was asserted repeatedly in the transcript that the court shared with me today that was tendered over from the civil court. It was repeatedly mentioned that there was an attorney-client confidentiality that was asserted by the attorney in question that disclosed this information to the state.
All right, so just so the record can be clear, with regards to the transcript that the court gave to both attorneys, the court has not read that transcript. That transcript was just sent to the court.
Sure.
And I don't open the email, so I don't know what's in the transcript.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Absolutely, Judge. But we do know that the complaining witness in this case had a contractual relationship with Ronald Allen and that he was his divorce and custody lawyer. And this conversation, according to the state's evidence, my client and all other indications occurred in that attorney's office in a confidential setting, and it was recorded without the knowledge of Ronald Allen. And we believe that it was weaponized by the attorney because of a contractual dispute, because of problems with the representation that were occurring, that were being discussed in the recording that is in the state's evidence, the state's discovery.
So with regards to your stating that this was some sort of attorney-client privilege, unless someone is going to stipulate that there was a conversation that was had between your client and the fact that your client had this conversation with his then attorney, you know, that evidence needs to be presented before the court unless there's going to be a stipulation that whatever conversation occurred, it occurred with your client's civil attorney. I don't know, is anyone going to stipulate that there was a contractual agreement between Mr. Allen and
How in the world did someone get a hold of tapes, of recordings that his civil attorney had with him? What? The only way is if the attorney gave them up, right?
Mr. Ireland, and that during that representation, there was a conversation between the two? Is somebody going to stipulate to that?
Yes, Judge. By the end of the day, if the state has their witness, like they say they do, we believe that Mr. Ireland will testify, and he's the complaining witness on this case. That's our understanding.
So who is calling the witness?
The state does have two witnesses ready, and even though there wasn't a warrant or there was, and burden has shifted, the state has our witnesses here, and if defense wants to call our witness and then have him available to us on cross.
It was civil, though.
Right.
It was the civil.
All right, then defense, because
He said it was the divorce and child support. So that's civil.
there was stipulated that there was a warrant, then the burden does shift to the defense. So what witness would you like to call?
Okay.
How can they get a warrant for the tapes?
Okay.
I don't get
We
it. I
didn't
don't
get a witness
understand.
list, so we're just looking at this right now.
No problem.
Let's call Mr. Ireland.
I'm going to get my
Charles
coffee. If I
Michael
miss anything,
Ireland.
Okay.
tell me.
Hello. All right, I recognize you as an officer of the court. However, if you could raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can have a seat. If you'll just, there should be a square microphone. It's for the court reporter to hear. If you'll click that on your lapel or somewhere. All right, if you'll state your name for the record.
Charles Michael Ireland Jr.
All right, you may proceed, defense.
Mr. Ireland, were you Mr. Allen's attorney during a portion of his family court case?
Yes,
And the meeting where the recording was made, you made a recording of a meeting that you had with him. That meeting where the recording was made, that took place in your office. Is that correct?
Your Honor, leading.
Sustained.
Where was the recording made?
in my office.
All right. And do you know if Mr. Allen believed he was speaking with you in confidence because of the contractual relationship you had, or did you have some other arrangement where you had already told him that you were getting off the case?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Sustained.
Why was he in your office?
I believe that's attorney-client privilege.
And so the conversation, you would agree that the conversation that you had with Mr. Allen was attorney-client privilege, correct? And
He moved Mr. Allen.
well, that's all I have for right now, Judge. I'd like to pass the witness.
All right, state.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, I am showing you what has been pre-marked.
I don't know what now how they can go any further. I mean, it's open and shut. It was okay. All right, let's see what they have.
State's Exhibit 1. Do you know what this is?
Yes,
How do you know what this is?
you provided that to me this morning.
When you say provided, do you mean I gave this to you or you listened to it?
Both.
And what is this?
It's a recording of the conversation I had with Mr. Allen.
What date did that happen?
I believe it's April 21st, 2025.
And are your initials anywhere on this?
Yes,
And is there a date associated with your initials?
yes.
What date is that?
Today's date, July 28th,
What year?
2025.
And when you listened to this, was it an accurate portrayal of the events that day as you remember them?
Yes,
Was it altered in any way?
no,
Your Honor, at this time, state moves to enter State's Exhibit 1 for purposes of this hearing pending inspection by defense.
Yes, I see that, and that's been provided to me.
Any objections for
No
purposes of
objections,
this hearing?
Judge.
All right, State's Exhibit number 1 is admitted for purposes of this hearing.
We have downloaded it. The state has to expedite things, but before we play it, I may ask you a couple more questions. You on direct stated that you agreed the conversation was attorney-client privilege. Is that true?
Yes,
Did you believe the entire conversation was attorney-client privilege?
no.
What sorts of things are not privileged under that attorney-client privilege?
Mr. Allen said some things to me that I believe clearly established that he was going to attempt to or commit an act that would cause bodily harm or worse to one or more individuals.
Do you recognize Rule 503 to be the rules of evidence for attorney-client privilege?
Yes,
And in that rule, there is an exception. That's true, right? There's multiple exceptions.
there's multiple.
There's an exception that says the privilege does not apply in furtherance of a crime. Is that true?
If you say so.
Well, in this conversation that we're about to hear, something alarmed you. Isn't that true?
Yes,
And you believed that the attorney-client privilege no longer held because of that statement.
I believe that because of what was told to me, I had a mandatory duty to report it to authorities.
Your Honor, at this time, state is going to play what has been entered as State's Exhibit 1. It's around 12 minutes, 54 seconds. We'll play the entire thing.
Thank you.
State's Exhibit 1 is now played.
Stitches get stitches.
Hey, Ron. I'm gonna show you. Hey, I said we were in the courtroom. Your face like so perfect, these ways, he was so something. Do you have this or not? Nervous? Yes, you look nervous, you were very scared.
State has paused it at 45 seconds. Whose voice do we hear in this recording?
Mr. Allen's and my voices.
Nuh-uh.
May
We can't hear anything. Turn it up.
you point out and identify Mr. Allen by an article of clothing for the record?
He's a gentleman over there in the orange jumpsuit.
The record may reflect that our witness has positively identified the defendant in the courtroom. And the second voice, whose voice is that?
That's mine.
The state will resume playing at 45 seconds.
Fidgety and not look at your face and did it was so red and blotchy, like when somebody gets put on the spot or something like that. Can you handle this? Because history's going to get made Wednesday, right? I don't have to deal with this after Wednesday. I know for a fact. How are we going to do that? The answers we need already happened. You know how I know? Because I sent Keith a message at the beginning of this, and I told him, you're playing for the wrong judge. There's only one judge, and it's Aiden. I have all the evidence. As soon as I did that, I've never seen him again. They know it's there. That's why they're rushing around. I got called into jury duty the same week in the same courtroom. The odds of that is like me winning the lotto 20 times in a row, bro. It doesn't happen. There was 2 girls in that courtroom. Those 2 girls are the same ones in that hallway when they didn't show up in the court and we were talking loud in the hallway. They were fucking, and they asked me over and over and over, does anybody recognize anybody? Does anybody recognize anybody? Over and over and over. Those 2 girls and Justin was up my ass. Are you in on this or not? Because I'm gonna call the FBI tomorrow. Because I don't know who else calls. Because I've talked to you and still nothing has been done.
If you're not happy with my services, you can fire me, but I'm not gonna sit here and be questioned about whether I've got this or not.
Well, you know what? Why haven't you called the DA? Because there's definitely
What criminal charges? I'm a civil
that
lawyer,
that same lady who's signing all these things.
What things?
Okay. This guy, he's got a TRO, right? The ex-boyfriend or the boyfriend.
Oh,
He's got-
Sherwood?
Right, and it's sealed, right?
Yeah.
Why would you seal something? It's because if you don't care about it if it's hurt,
No,
you would still
protective orders are
Okay,
sealed by law. There's a
Okay.
statute.
okay. So that's happening at the house. I guarantee you the same month, that same judge who signed that for her, signed something that says I can't have Aiden or something. And it's there. We went to court that same month. How does that not show? That just, they're there every day. It shows. That's a huge conflict of interest right there. What happened is Tiffany didn't need a signature, and she went and did this. Torres signed to keep her ass out of jail. And then what you got is Torres, yeah, the next 2 times she ruled in my favor because she had to. Didn't stop Tiffany from bringing her. Tiffany already knows she's not going to get in trouble. That's why she's not doing this. And they're looking, they're trying to set up in a thing, so I fuck up. And they're putting me in a bubble. Do you see that? And Kidshare. Every time I've been to Kidshare, it's, oh yeah, nobody called me or nothing said there was going to be a cancellation until I get up there. And then I hear half the story. Then I go the next day and it's, oh no, the whole weekend. Oh, you talked to her again? No, we talked to her that day. You said she just wasn't going to show up that day. And then, you see what I'm saying? The information goes. They're creating a scenario for me to make a scene. And I'm not going to see Aiden until that happens. There's no doubt in my mind.
So nothing about this case scares me.
Well, I'm scared,
Okay, I mean, I think that's healthy.
but not about Aiden.
What are you scared about?
I'm scared for my life, dude.
Okay, why are you?
Because
scared
there's
for your
something
life?
there. There's something there. There's something there. There is something there. We're overlooking something. You cannot tell me all this stuff that's going on. I see extortion. I see
Oh, no, I mean,
kidnapping.
I think you're getting fucked for sure.
I see kidnapping. I see extortion. I see obstruction of justice. Dude, all this stuff. Tiffany falsified that document and just presented it on me. He gets a signature from Torres, and then Torres gets my case the next 2 times in a row. What are the odds of that? How many times do I have to do this? Right. And then I have jury duty, and then they're asking if I'm
When
right.
did you have jury duty?
The next week.
Did you a few weeks ago?
Last week, bro.
I didn't know you had jury duty
Yes,
last week.
that's it. Nobody's telling you everything, dude. Yes, I had jury duty, dude, and Justin was it. There was nobody else. Nobody else. Dude, they asked me certain questions. They made me sit there all day.
Whose court was it in?
Fucking the same fucking judge.
Torres?
Yes.
Oh, that's fucked up.
That's what I'm saying. The odds of that happening is they wanted to know what I knew. Or if I recognize those other 2 girls. They're fucking relaying a message. When I go to court and they don't show up and they hit it from Zoom, they've got 2 lawyers in the fucking hallway talking about our deals. Justin was next to me the whole fucking time. If I was Justin, I wouldn't want to see me. Justin was next to me the whole fucking time in the hallway. He wanted to know what the fuck I knew and who I was talking to. There's no doubt I know this shit. There's something there. And the fact that
Are you talking about the 2 girls who were sitting outside when we went to court?
no, I know exactly who they are. They represent Thea. It's 2 girls.
Okay.
And at the end, the judge gave a long speech about, you got to see our, how we work and blah, 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 this and blah, 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 that, and this and that. That one girl, mad dog, ain't they ever living shit out of me the whole time. And then the other girl was like, just talking or whatever, but we're listening to the judge. The chubby girl didn't really, she was the one asking questions. The other girl, she didn't look at me the whole time. And then at the end, when that judge was giving that speech, it was like it was directed towards me. And she was mad, mean mugging me the whole time. Who does that? You know what I mean?
Do you want to know why I was mad when we were there and my face was red?
Why?
Because I knew we weren't going to get a hearing. Because we sat there and we sat there and we sat there.
And it's not gonna happen. I know Wednesday, something changes.
I hope so.
And it's in my favor. We're going to find something. It's there.
Well, I've been arguing with Martha for 3 days.
Martha is a distraction. They're doing that to distract you from looking for what you need to be looking for.
Come in.
There's no doubt in my mind. These guys are tricky.
So it's the subpoena for Sherwood.
Who?
Sherwood.
Alan?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is he friendly to us? You think he'll be friendly to us?
Yeah,
We're about to send it out.
Yeah, I've never done anything to him. Why wouldn't
Do
he?
you have a phone number for him?
No, I don't know.
We just have that address.
Absolutely, because she fucked him. You know what? She's following the exact same play. It's like Medley talked to her and showed her the blueprint, and they've been following it to a T. She was with him. They broke up because there's a protective order, obviously, there. They got back together because I run into them at the Walmart, the Target or whatever. And then he's gone. He tells me, Alan's gone or whatever. She's pregnant. Now she's got something to hold over his head and take money from him and extort him just like she's doing to me. That's exactly what happened with me and A. I kicked her out on 4th of July. She said, can we get back together? She went, made a fake police report, said I choked her, and then figured out that there's nothing she can do. She would have to go back home to her parents' house. She called me offshore that same day. That testimony, but that recording, she spends more time talking about how do I get this guy to pay and me stay in this big ass house in Wimberley and him never coming home again. And she calls me her spouse. She doesn't even refer to my name in this thing, okay? This is from the very get-go, and she forced me to it. She said, save our family, sign the deal. So I signed it. The next thing I know, she turned it around and I've been fighting for Aiden ever since. She's gonna do that with Alan. The exact same thing. She did it with the other guy.
I'm assuming you haven't heard from Esparza.
No.
I'm assuming you haven't heard from the amicus.
Right, and I mean, all this together, doesn't that paint a pretty big picture? They're refusing to sign this, they're refusing to do that. After they were on my side, the only reason they came on my side is so they don't look so guilty. But yet I got $2,000 bills all of a sudden from the amicus and this and that.
Yeah, I don't know how you said. I got that.
See what I'm saying? It's extortion, it's kidnapping. Everybody's dirty on it. They called me into jury duty, bro. I mean, jury tampering. I guarantee it.
Here's the deal. I'll do whatever you want me to do. I will go there and fight whatever fight you need me to fight.
I think that we need to get somebody else involved. Okay, so we get all this information. Who are you gonna take it to?
To the judge, that's the only place I can take it.
The same judge that's dirty?
Well, I don't know who the judge will be.
Well, Mark already said, and I heard him, watch this little trick. He's gonna go down Wednesday. We're going to the same fucking judge. I promise you.
So
He said, we're gonna,
Torres
he
or
said,
Nieto?
to skip proceedings, right, Judge? That's the last thing he said in that courtroom.
That's not in the order.
I know, but that's what he said, and he's done this to me every time. Why do I have the same judges over and over and over?
I don't know.
But that's because we keep going to the same ones. He does. He's gonna look at
So what he can do Wednesday is he
Check it
can,
out, check it out. I've been in the court a million times, all right? And I knew I was gonna do this. How did I know? Somebody told me. I know I'm gonna sound crazy or whatever, but I know these things. So if I was gonna do that, and I knew all this stuff was gonna happen, I'm prepared for Wednesday. But something is going to happen that's going to change history, whether you bust these guys or there's dead bodies everywhere, bro.
okay.
Because I'm not living in a real world where I'm telling you all this stuff is going on and you're still not doing anything about it, like going anywhere. I'm not letting anybody, you have a suspicion that these guys, you told me you're on a council for corruption and all this stuff, but
No,
you
it's not a
haven't even
council
let
for
nobody know, maybe I have something and they can kind of help you
It's
on
not a
this.
council for corruption. It's a-
Whatever. My point. The only person who knows about this is you, and I still don't have my son, and they're refusing to sign something. That doesn't even sound right to me.
I agree with you.
Okay, so who do we talk to?
We have a hearing on Wednesday.
Yeah, we do.
Beyond doing my job, Ryan, I don't know what you need me to do, man.
It's criminal.
I don't disagree with you.
You're civil.
Right.
Where's the criminal? You haven't even let them know you have suspicion. That's what I'm getting at. You look nervous in that courtroom. You went in there and nobody else went in there but you and everybody else and not me.
I asked for your permission. You said I
you
could
did ask for
go.
permission, and you did walk in there. And ever since then, I'm still getting screwed.
All right, get out of my office.
See you later, buddy.
The state has paused at 12:20. Mr. Ireland, what did you take this statement? I'm prepared for Wednesday, but something is going to happen that is going to change history. You bust.
I thought that was really good. That was a good tape, guys. I love this attorney all of a sudden. Although, if I had an attorney, I would hate for him to release a recording of what I said in his office, because I would feel like it's privilege. I would feel like I'm allowed to say whatever I want in there. But I would never talk about a bunch of dead bodies though.
These guys, or there's dead bodies everywhere, bro. What did you take that to mean?
I believe that was a threat that if he didn't get what he was seeking, that people would be hurt.
You're familiar with threats like these. That's true.
Yes.
What do threats like these look like?
I mean, I've been a family law attorney for almost 13 years. I've been threatened before. I think you have to take every threat seriously. So when those words were said, I believe them to be a real, true threat.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
I know when I worked at the bar, you have to take threats seriously. You have to, even though drunk people say the
I'm
stupidest
showing you what has
things.
been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 2. If you may look at this, and then I'll ask you a couple questions when you look up at me.
Chat, you were quiet that whole time that he was playing that recording. You were listening to the case.
Do you know what this is?
Yes.
What is this?
That is a copy of a docket sheet that they use in the presiding civil court to assign cases.
Does it look like in the same condition as when you saw it in the past?
I don't know that I've seen that document before.
In your interactions on the civil side, is it normal practice to get notice of a court hearing in a form like this?
So those are created, those are what the presiding court judge uses to call the docket every morning. And then those slips are then marked by the presiding court judge depending on what's going to happen on the case. So those are used every day in presiding court.
The date on this document, what does it show?
April 23rd, 2025.
Do you recognize that date to be the Wednesday date you would have accompanied Mr. Allen to the court?
Yes.
And in the audio recording we heard when there's talk about Wednesday, is it this date?
Yes, it's that date.
Your Honor, the state moves to enter what has been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 2 into evidence for this hearing, pending review by defense.
I have no objections to this.
All right, State's Exhibit number 2 is admitted without objection for purposes of this hearing.
In the recording we just heard, at 57 seconds, defendant says history is going to be made on Wednesday. Tell us the significance about that Wednesday date.
That was the date we were set for a temporary orders hearing. Mr. Allen had up until that point supervised possession and access of his son, and we were hoping to get unsupervised possession and access.
You did not have a scheduled interview with defendant on the day in question. That's true?
That's true.
And if you may please explain to us how defendant came to be in your office.
He just showed up.
Had he spoken with anyone before speaking with you in your office?
I think he met with my front desk receptionist.
Her name is Patsy.
That's correct.
Why did you accept this interaction with defendant when he hadn't had a planned meeting with you?
I had availability in my calendar. I had about a half hour to 45 minutes available, if I remember correctly. And I knew he was anxious about the hearing, and so I thought I'd give him some of my time to hopefully make him feel better.
You had never recorded a conversation with you and Mr. Allen before. That's
No.
true.
That's correct. Sorry, that's correct.
It is not your normal practice to record conversations with clients.
That is also correct.
After defendant said, I'm prepared for Wednesday, something is going to happen that's going to change history, bust these guys or there's dead bodies everywhere. Who was the first person you called after that?
I called the State Bar Ethics Hotline.
What were you advised?
that I had a mandatory duty to report what was told to me to law enforcement under Rule 105E of the Texas Rule.
Okay, so let's say you live in Texas. Y'all live in Texas, okay? Go get some barbecue. Go, first thing, go get some barbecue. And make sure you order queso with every meal. And then, let's say you're going to get a divorce and you have 3 children, all right? Do you go to this guy now that you know that he just recorded that conversation? Do you pick him as a lawyer?
Rules of the disciplinary rules for attorneys the ethical rules that we live by.
Why did they say you had an ethical duty to report?
Because the State Bar Ethics Hotline believed it met the standard in 105E.
Did you call anyone else?
Yes.
Who?
My attorney, Carl Cobb, that's KOLB.
What did attorney Cole or Cobb advise you?
I provided him the recording and then he advised me I had a mandatory duty to report it to law enforcement under Rule 105E.
Do you remember speaking with an investigator Lopez?
Yes.
When you
I don't use him.
initially called to report,
Not like
you
barbecue, not
told
like Texas.
Lopez your fear of the threat that there was going to be dead bodies everywhere, right?
Yes.
You did not tell Lopez anything about any attorney-client privileged information.
No.
The recording we just heard, its total duration is 12 minutes, 54 seconds. It was at 10:45 that defendant said there's going to be bodies everywhere. How did you respond to that statement?
I was in shock. That was the second time he had said, we're going to make history on Wednesday. And I think at some point, even my head, I said, don't say it. And then he said it, that there would be dead bodies everywhere.
After you reported this threat, what else did you do?
That day,
Well, you didn't feel safe. What did you do for safety reasons?
we locked our front door. And I excused my staff, whoever didn't feel comfortable being there.
Any other precautionary measures?
That day, no.
How about in the near future?
I arranged for my office to have active shooter training and also paid for my entire staff to be trained in handgun shooting.
You would agree with me that throughout this 12-minute 54 conversation, you agreed with a lot of defendants' statements and paranoia. Isn't that true?
I don't know that I agreed with the paranoia. I had felt like up to that point that Ronnie had gotten an unfair shake in the civil courts.
You had mentioned when defendant said, I'm scared, you agreed. This is a scary thing, right?
Well, I thought he was talking about, he was scared about losing his relationship with his son. And as a parent, like, I get that.
When defendant was talking about things are being overlooked, you agreed. You said, I think you're getting fucked for sure.
So that statement was because I thought, like I said, I thought he was getting an unfair shake in the civil courts based on my experience with Mr. Allen up to that point.
3 times defendant alludes to a specific date. What date was that?
I don't know. I don't remember.
When would dead bodies be everywhere?
I presumed based on the subject matter of the conversation, it would be on April 23rd, that Wednesday at the hearing.
At minute 57 seconds, history is going to be made on Wednesday. You remember defendant saying that?
Yes.
6 minutes, 52 seconds. I know Wednesday something changes in my favor. You remember that?
Yes.
10 minutes, 45 seconds. I'm prepared for Wednesday, but something is going to happen that is going to change history. You bust these guys or there's
It's
dead
gonna be
bodies
my
everywhere,
mom's
bro.
first
You
time.
remember that?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
So I have something ready for the end of the stream. Barbecue from Texas. I'm going to show you. I had to get it ready.
Handing you what has been pre-marked as
So, okay. Let's say he's from the UK. All right. I spoke about him before. This guy right here, L3WG. And so these are two British people, I think, watching two British people eat barbecue in America for the first time. And they go to this place in Texas. And this is the barbecue that they got. And these are just sides. So this is the meal that they got. Now, they're wondering if Americans eat like this, like for every meal. Like, is this how we always eat? Let me show you them getting the food. I have to show you because, all right, hold on. I just want to show you them giving them their plate of food. I'll put this link in
Doing
the
God's
chat.
work. Doing God's work. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
I don't know where they're at. I don't know, but this is where I want to go. This is where I have to go in my life. Like I will get on a plane to go here and then fly right back. I just don't know where it is. I don't know what the name of it is. And hopefully they say it.
Yeah, Trinity, I think they're going to try a little bit of everything. First and foremost is the beef rib. In the barbecue world, we call that the Rolls Royce of barbecue.
Wowzers.
It is just gorgeous.
That's just a little bit different to our ribs, isn't it?
Is that a little bit of everything? Is she going to put that on the plate as being a little bit? No.
In America, probably. Like, to us, that is absolutely massive.
No, in America, that's not a little bit. That is not a little bit. That's not that's a humongous bit.
It's a Sunday dinner for 5 people. That's the Sunday.
Honestly. Hold on.
It's
more.
a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is a lot.
Oh my
Rolls
goodness.
Royce of barbecue. Look at that.
That is huge.
Yeah. And then we're going to try a little bit of the brisket here.
This is the end pieces of the brisket. I don't know if you want to try it out right now. Oh, that looks nice.
So yeah, that brisket is a whole meal. And then they do the turkey. This is their 2 trays of food. So this right here, I know it ends in CKS, and I know it's in Texas. And that's where you know what? That's where we all should go as like a trip for everybody. Are you sure or are you guessing? Like, is that because I need to know? Okay, so now pretend pretend that you live in Texas. Pretend that you're going through a divorce. First, go to Terry Black's. And then, do you hire this lawyer? I do not. I absolutely do not hire this lawyer. Now, am I absolutely proud of him for reporting this? Absolutely. Hell yes. He's a hero. He is a hero. But I don't hire him myself.
States Exhibit 3. If you may please look at this briefly and then look at the different questions when you're ready.
I don't know.
Okay.
Do you know what this is?
Yes.
How do you know what this is?
This is the transcript of a hearing. Well, the part of the final hearing for Mr. Allen's protective order,
What date does this have on it?
June 23rd, 2025.
What court does this have on it?
Well, the case is filed in the 150th, but it was heard by Judge Christine Hortick in the 225th.
Is this in Bear County, Texas?
Yes,
And does it look to accurately portray what it represents that it's portraying?
yes,
Does it look like it's been altered in any way?
no.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to enter what has been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 3, pending inspection by defense.
Judge, I'm aware of this document. I don't object to this in particular any more than I object to basically what is the core of the suppression motion anyways. So
All right.
no objections to that.
State's Exhibit number 3 is admitted for purposes of this hearing without objection.
At this hearing in State's Exhibit 3, it had something to do with a motion to withdraw as counsel. Is that true?
That hearing? No, that was not for my motion to withdraw as counsel.
Thank you. What was this hearing for?
That was the continuation of the final protective order hearing that Miss Allen had filed against Mr. Allen. And I testified that day.
There was discussion about a motion to withdraw, though, wasn't there?
Mhm.
And when asked about that motion to withdraw, you told the court that the defendant made a statement that you reasonably believed, led you to believe that the defendant was going to commit a crime that would result in the death or substantial harm to another person. Isn't that true?
That's true.
And this was 2 days before that Wednesday hearing. Isn't that true? When the statement was made.
Yes.
Now, please describe defendant's behavior while he was in your office.
He never sat down. He paced back and forth behind the chairs I have in front of my desk. He seemed very agitated. He was sweating profusely.
Were you scared in your office during this conversation?
Over the course of the conversation, I became more and more anxious.
When defendant said there will be bodies everywhere, were you afraid for your life?
Yes,
You were afraid for your staff's life?
yes,
You were afraid for the lives of the people at the courthouse?
absolutely.
Don't forget Tiffany.
You were afraid for defendant's family's life,
Yes,
Tiffany.
to specifically include the children,
yes, his son Aiden.
the child, and the ex,
And I'm sorry?
his ex.
Yes,
Now, defendant never said, he didn't give a specific manner and means, didn't give a specific person. But what contextually made you believe this was an actual threat?
twice he said, I'm going to make history on Wednesday. And he said something was going to change. And when he made the statement, dead bodies everywhere, after he said he was going to make history, that specifically.
Now,
7 or 8, not 7 or 7.
you mentioned playing the recording for your staff. That freaked them out, didn't it?
Yes, they were all very concerned.
Objection, hearsay.
Right, that'll be sustained.
He played it to his staff?
Your Honor, the state kindly passes the witness.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Mr. Ireland, you testified previously that you reported Ronald Allen during this visit to your office on April 24th or 21st of 2025. That's established. You recorded him.
Yes,
And you didn't advise Mr. Allen that he was being recorded, did you?
Objection leading.
All right, that'll be sustained.
Did you advise Mr. Allen that he was being recorded?
no,
And when you testified under oath in the civil court, you said in that transcript we referred to earlier, you said, when you said something inside you said to record it, what was it inside of you that made you think that that was going to be said in this interaction you had when he came into your office?
I didn't think anything was going to be said.
Do you ever record any of your other clients? Ever? You've never recorded another client?
Maybe once or twice in the 13 years I've been practicing.
And the last client you recorded, was he referred to the police for making a threat?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
That'll be overruled.
I've never had to do what I did in this case.
So, but would you agree with me that in the actual recording, there's no real yelling or threats? In fact, it sounds like an attorney this is like a conversation between a pair of friends. Did you see it that way at all?
Objection, Your
no.
Honor. Compound leading and attorney testifying.
Sustained.
Oh my God, Michael. You know how to cook too? Kelly, Michael, you're impressive. You can do anything.
Do you think Ronald Allen thought of you as a friend and an ally in the custody case?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
That'll be sustained.
Do your clients usually see you as a friend and an ally in their custody case?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
That'll be overruled.
Michael.
I don't make friends with my clients while their case is active.
You have a friendly way of speaking to them, don't you?
Yes,
And if you say to Mr. Allen, I think you're getting fucked, man, does that mean that literally he's going to get raped or something? Or does it just mean in a figurative sense?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation and compound.
That'll be overruled.
And stupid. What do you
In a
mean
matter of
overruled?
speaking, when you say something like that on the record and you know you're being recorded, do you think that it should be taken as a literal sense that he's going to go and get raped in the court? How do you mean that when you say it?
as I said earlier, I believed up to that point, Mr. Allen had,
That's a good point. He's got a good point. Because he did say that. And no, he didn't mean that. So if he's allowed to say things that he doesn't mean, why isn't his clients allowed to say things that he doesn't really mean?
gotten a bad shake in the civil courts.
So, did you ever give a written statement to law enforcement about this alleged threat?
What do you mean by written statement?
Did you ever write something out and swear to it and give it to the investigators?
No,
But it is true, isn't it true that you emailed or texted the audio file to Che Lopez, the investigator for the state?
yes, I did.
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
That'll be overruled.
I think I can ask leading questions here because I'm on a redirect, right?
No,
Okay.
not on redirect.
Did you password protect the file to ensure the chain of custody on the MP3 that you sent to the investigators?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
I'm just asking him a question.
All right, so I'll just make a ruling on objections that are made. So that objection will be overruled. You can answer that question.
I don't recall.
Is this the first time that law enforcement was ever involved at your initiation? Like that you called the police and had them?
In my professional life?
Yes, as a lawyer.
Yes.
So would you acknowledge that your decision to disclose these communications that you had with Ronald Allen, was that solely based on your belief that Mr. Allen might commit a future crime?
No, because I believed that what he told me clearly established that he would.
Did he have any weapons on him?
I don't know.
Is there anything in your family law questionnaire that asks if somebody owns firearms?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Relevance.
Well, I want to know if he anticipated that Mr. Allen had the means or ability to carry out any kind of threat.
All right, you can answer that question.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
My
He lives in Texas. He lives in Texas. Of course he had a gun, right?
intake form does have that question type of questioning.
And did you know that in your review, you reviewed the entire docket sheet and history of Mr. Allen's custody case that he had with his son Aiden, right?
Yes.
And you knew that it was a long history that was going on, didn't you?
Yes.
And you knew that, and you've already said in this court that you didn't think he was getting a fair shake on the whole matter.
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
All right, that'll be sustained.
So can you explain to me your understanding of Rule 105 of the disciplinary rules of professional conduct on these cases?
The entire rule or just 105E?
Maybe you could tell me your understanding about it.
What part of the rule?
Well, I think people generally understand that attorney-client communications have some confidentiality. I think people have an expectation of privacy when they're talking to their lawyers.
Yeah, but if you're going to commit a crime, then you know that he's not a priest, he's a lawyer. There's one more thing I forgot about the 80s that only Micah will understand that I miss. Besides all the purses and watches and jelly bracelets, still have the bang. Miss the 80s.
But what's your understanding of this?
My understanding of Rule 105 by itself is that I have a duty of confidentiality of attorney-client communications between myself and my clients.
Now, did Mr. Allen, in the recording we all heard, did he ever mention any specific names or intended victims in his narrative, what he was talking to you?
No.
And have you ever heard a manner of speaking like, I just want to know if you've ever heard somebody say, well, that guy knows where all the bodies are buried. Have you ever heard that?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Relevancy.
The relevancy is to see if he understands that there's manners of speaking that don't necessarily constitute a threat.
All right, that objection will be sustained.
Diamond Dallas Page was a wrestler.
Have you ever heard somebody
That's what he
say
said.
something that if they didn't understand normal language or expressive language, that it would probably raise some alarms if they didn't understand?
Objection, leading, and relevance.
Sustained.
I especially miss the cars. Oh, God. Cars were so good.
In that recording we all heard, when you heard Mr. Allen expressing concern over being summoned for the jury duty in the same courthouse as this custody case, what went through your mind when he told you about that? About
It was a weird coincidence.
if that kind of weird coincidence happened to a different client, do you think that that's the kind of thing that somebody would come into the attorney to talk about?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Sustained.
Who else could help Mr. Allen other than a lawyer understand whether that's a coincidence or not.
Objection, Your Honor, relevance and speculation.
That'll be overruled. You can answer the question.
I don't know that I understand your question.
Well, if I'm suspicious of some coincidence like we're talking about here, being called for jury duty the same week as your trial, if I'm trying to figure out if that's a coincidence or not, and it has to do with things that happen in the courthouse, don't you think that it's appropriate that he would call out that kind of suspicion to his lawyer?
Objection, Your Honor, that's speculation as to what asking us to,
I'm trying to explain the question.
and the state is saying this is an inappropriate question. This is,
All right.
it's
Oh.
leading and speculative.
All right, I'll let him answer the question.
It's a weird coincidence, yes, but jury summons are sent out weeks in advance. That hearing had only been on the books for about 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
So some notion that it was some sort of conspiracy can be swept away very quickly.
But you didn't tell him that in that recording that we just heard, did you?
Nope.
Do you wish you had?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
All right, that will be sustained.
You never attempted to, did you ever attempt to refer Mr. Allen for any mental health treatment prior to recording him that day?
No.
And did you contact Miss Anna Hesbrook Ramirez the same day as that recording was made?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Well, that'll be overruled.
Did you contact Miss Anna Laura Hesbrook?
I don't remember.
And did you ever, before calling either Miss Hesbrook or the police or the Che investigator, did you inform Mr. Allen that you had recorded him?
The state is going to object that this line of questioning is outside the scope of this hearing.
That'll be sustained.
So you think it's fair to record somebody, send it to the police, and you never even let the person know? What did you mean?
Objection, leading.
That'll be sustained.
Did you know that Mr. Allen only learned about the being recorded after he had been arrested?
Objection.
Did you know that?
Your Honor, speculation.
All right, that will be sustained.
I still think he's a hero.
Did you ever try to call Mr. Allen after that recording and try to ask him what he meant when he was talking about bodies?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
That'll be sustained.
Come on, lawyer, get it together.
Did you text Mr. Allen back to your office before recording him? Does your office ever text clients?
Huh?
All the time.
Did you ever text Mr. Allen to your office before this recording?
I don't understand what you mean texting.
I don't either.
Send him a text saying you can come into the office now? Did you send him a text?
I don't think so.
You said you agreed with him regarding the coincidence being alarming, didn't you?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
You said that, or did, pardon me, go ahead, Judge, sorry.
That would be sustained. No problem.
Who is Esparza in the recording? You're talking about Esparza. Who's that?
Dr. Fernando Esparza, he's a forensic psychologist in San Antonio.
So was that somebody that Mr. Allen was being referred to for a psych evaluation, or what was the purpose of discussing Mr. Esparza?
Objection, Your Honor, to relevance and outside the scope.
All right, what is the relevancy?
Well, earlier he testified that there had never been any recommendations for psychological evaluation, but now we're talking about Esparza in this recording. So I'm just trying to understand.
All right, but how is it relevant to whether or not this should be suppressed?
Well, I think psychological evaluations are confidential as well. And psychological impressions are confidential typically.
All right, you can ask that question.
Is he getting redder and redder and more red as this goes on? Does he need help, ma'am? Does he need a doctor?
So who was Dr. Esparza and why were y'all talking about him?
I don't remember why he was appointed by one of the judges. I don't remember what his role was, though. I don't believe it was for a psychological evaluation.
Sparta.
Dr. Esparza does many things in family law cases. Psychological evaluations is one of them.
Was he evaluating the child?
I don't remember.
When he was talking about,
No. She probably did. It's not about the crime. It's about the law. The crime doesn't matter.
the two girls that were in the court that represent Via, that were mad dogging him, mean mugging him. Do you know who he was talking about?
No idea.
When you talk about Justin in this recording, who is that?
Justin Cook.
And who's he?
He's an attorney here in San Antonio. He was Mr. Allen's attorney prior to me.
Did you ever talk to Justin about the case?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Relevancy?
Well, I'm asking to see if Mr. Ireland had a confidentiality that extended to the prior lawyer, or if he understood that the prior lawyer also had some confidentiality duties. So I'm trying to find out, if we're talking about the prior lawyer, if Mr. Ireland ever got anything that should have been confidential from the prior lawyer.
All right, that objection will be sustained.
In this conversation, you're actually talking about legal tactics and things that you're going to be doing in the near future. Specifically, you're talking about making a subpoena for Mr. Sherwood.
Objection.
Why would you?
Leading this entire phrase.
I didn't even finish my question.
All right, so just address towards me. Ask your question.
Why is Sherwood so important to subpoena in this conversation?
All right, so any objection to that specific question, State?
Yes, Your Honor, it would be relevance still and outside the scope.
All right, that'll be sustained.
Had you had any prior meetings with Mr. Allen before that day?
Yes.
Did you ever record him in any of the prior conversations that you had with him?
No.
Did you feel like he was questioning your role as his lawyer at that meeting?
I think a little bit, yeah.
Because in the beginning, he says, well, in the beginning, you said something along the lines of, well, if you're not happy with me, you can fire me. You said something like that, right?
Yes.
And so very early in the conversation, did you believe that you were on the defensive?
I don't know about on the defensive. I was just trying to reassure Ronnie that I wasn't scared. And, you know, I've been doing this a long time, and I didn't particularly care for the way he was questioning my tactics, I guess.
But you stayed in the room with him for several minutes after that comment, right? I mean, it was a while.
Objection to leading.
All right, that'll be overruled.
Did you stay in the room? Did you stay in the room with him for several minutes after that comment?
Approximately 13 minutes, however long the recording is.
You didn't feel, did you ever feel, did you feel alarm or feel threatened yourself personally in that moment?
When he said there would be dead bodies everywhere, yes.
When you told well, did you ever tell the police that Ronald said, if I don't get custody, I will make history and there will be dead bodies everywhere? Is that what you told the police
I
exactly?
don't remember. I might have.
That's what I heard.
Did Ronald ever describe any kind of plan to execute the dead bodies in the courthouse? Did he give you a plan?
Objection, Your Honor. This answer calls for hearsay.
That will be overruled.
The last time I talked to Ronald Allen was that recording. Anything before that is attorney-client privilege.
Oh, you have did you have a written contract with Mr. Allen as a lawyer?
Yes,
And your contract, does it include language that communications with a client are confidential?
yes.
Objection, Your Honor, outside the scope.
That'll be overruled.
It's a contract, Judge, and
I overruled the objection. You can
Thank you.
answer. You can answer the
Um,
question.
do you have that kind of term in your contract?
Yes,
Were you paid to represent Mr. Allen in that custody case?
it was.
And you received funds from him or on his behalf in support of that contract, right?
Yes.
And have you refunded any part of Mr. Allen's retainer?
Every cent of his retainer that was remaining in my trust was immediately returned to him.
Looking back, is there any way that you would have handled this differently that you'd like to tell the court about?
Objection, Your Honor, that is outside of the scope of this hearing.
Sustained.
Would you handle it differently if you had to do it today?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Sustained.
That's all I have, Judge.
All right.
As a witness.
Any recross?
Perhaps briefly, Your Honor, I may have 1 moment.
Lawyers should be barred from using the word briefly or real quick because they do not know what those words mean.
Your Honor, the state is done with this witness. No further questions.
All right. May this witness be excused?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Thank you. You may step down if you'll leave the square microphone.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Defense, call your next witness.
That's the only witness regarding this motion, Judge.
All right. So from what I'm reading from the motion council, with regards to your motion to suppress, subtitle 2 and 3, both parties have stipulated that there was a warrant. With regards to 4, the real question is whether or not this was attorney-client privilege. And is there anyone who disagrees that if an attorney presumes or assumes that a threat is being made, that is not a part of attorney-client privilege?
That's how the state understands that exception.
All right, defense, do you want to address that?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state does have one witness to call. if you-
Oh, so you have another witness for the motion to suppress?
Yes, Judge.
I'm so sorry. You may call your next witness. You may call your witness, state.
And state is gonna call Investigator Lopez, badge number 142.
I was hoping it was his father.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't know the state had witnesses.
We're gonna call his father. No, does it though? I don't think priests are allowed to say it no matter what you say to them. I don't know though. I mean, I thought I knew.
All right, if you can raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, just give me one moment. Everyone, just give me 3 minutes, please.
Judge, if the state may ask for a quick restroom break.
What? You just called someone onto the stand. Sir, judge. There's someone just standing there in your courtroom with a badge. With a badge right there in his belt buckle. Trying to see what else he has in his. Now he's gone. We had him and now he's gone. Remember the Alamo. Just remember the Alamo. All right. It's my time to shine. My time to fast forward. It's what I get paid to do. Nailed it. Not really, but I did my best. Any second now. There we go. Nailed it. I've been watching other channels lately, just random channels. Just checking them out, see how they're doing stuff. And man, everybody else is so fucking professional. Like, like, how am I supposed to compete with that? I am never going to get there in a million years. This is it. This is as professional as we get here. Okay, I was just wrong. I think I should fast forward it until the judge comes. There we go.
All right, so you're under oath. Could you state your name for the record, please?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Investigator Che Lopez with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office.
All right, state you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. If the state may approach.
Yes.
I like this prosecutor. I do.
Handing you what has been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 4. You may look over that briefly and then look back at me so I may ask you a couple questions. Do you know what this is?
Yes, sir. It is our report, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office report.
And how do you know that's what it is?
This is what I'm familiar with. The initial officer makes the report, and then I do supplements inside this report.
Does it have your name on there for us to know that this would be your report?
Yes, sir, it does.
And does it look like it's been altered in any way?
No, sir, it does not.
Do you remember the date, April 21st, 2025?
Yes, sir, I do.
Why do you remember that date?
It's when this case was first assigned to me.
And what is this case about?
Threats to the courthouse.
Do you know who is accused of making that threat?
Mr. Allen.
Do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir, I do.
May you please point him out and identify him by an article of clothing for the record?
Yes, sir. Mr. Allen's wearing a Bexar County orange jumpsuit, sir.
If the record may reflect that our witness has positively identified the defendant in the courtroom. Now, do you remember hearing a recorded statement as it is related to this case?
Yes, sir, I did.
How did you get this recorded statement?
This case was initially brought over by SAPD Fusion.
which was then given to my supervisors. My supervisors assigned me, and that's when I made a phone call to Mr. Ireland.
And who is Mr. Ireland?
Mr. Ireland is our witness and also Mr. Allen's attorney.
Did you hear the recording?
Yes, sir, I did.
What was alarming about the recording?
During the context of the conversation, he advised that the court and the court officers were, he was in contention with them. He believes that it was him against the courthouse, if my understanding of the audio recording was correct. And then later on, he stated that there will be something going on Wednesday, and that there'll be bodies everywhere. Which
We would object to this as to hearsay. We already heard a direct witness.
State.
Your Honor, we were merely asking how the investigator came to know about this case and his familiarity with the recording, and he has corroborated what this court has heard.
All right, that objection will be overruled.
You mentioned a specific date, Wednesday. How did you know that there was specificity to this threat?
he mentioned Wednesday several times. And also when I reviewed court documents, he had a upcoming custody hearing on Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025, I believe.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
I am showing you what has been entered as State's Exhibit 2. Is this the document you are referencing?
It's one of them, sorry.
Now, this one, you had mentioned a date. Do you see that date reflected at the top?
Yes, sir, I do.
What date?
4/23/25.
So that is the Wednesday repeated date that we heard in the recording.
Yes, sir.
Was the threat specific to a date?
It was specific to a date and I believe a place. Other than that, we didn't have a means yet.
And your understanding with terroristic threats, were those elements met even without the specific manner and means?
I believe so, sir. The threat was in reference to the trial if it did not go a certain way. And I believe he was inferring that he would disrupt proceedings, or he wanted the proceedings to go his way.
And what was the threat if proceedings did not go his way?
Dead bodies everywhere.
Did you generate a warrant for the arrest of the defendant?
Yes, sir, I did.
I may approach, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'm showing you what has been entered as State's Exhibit 5. Do you recognize this to be the warrant?
Yes, sir.
And it's got your name associated with it?
Yes, sir, it does.
Your Honor, the state kindly passes the witness.
All right, defense.
Did Ronald Allen ever disrupt any proceedings in the courthouse, to your knowledge?
Not that I'm aware of, sir.
You didn't observe him disrupting any proceedings?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
I'll let him ask. You can answer that question.
I did not witness.
And did you speculate as to any means that Mr. Allen's might have had to be able to effectuate this threat?
No, sir.
Were you there when the threat was made?
No, sir.
Did you speak to anyone else related to the custody case regarding this incident?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
That'll be overruled. You can answer that.
I subpoenaed, but I did not get any records from KidShare. So no, I did not speak to anybody in reference to the custody case.
Did you speak with Anna Laura Hesbrook?
Objection, Your Honor, outside the scope of this hearing.
Sustained.
I do not believe so, sir.
The objection's been sustained. That's okay.
Apologize.
You may continue, counsel.
Did you ever interview Mr. Allen regarding this incident?
No, sir, I did not.
Now, in your report, you said that there would be dead bodies everywhere. But did you see that that's a misquote to what's actually said in the recording?
That's what I heard in the recording.
So would you be surprised if the recording said something different?
Objection, Your Honor. That is. The state will withdraw that objection.
Okay. All right, you can answer the question if you can answer the question.
I listened to that audio recording several times, and to the best of my knowledge, to what I heard, that was correct.
That's all I have for him now, Your Honor.
All right, any further questions?
No further questions from the state, Your Honor.
All right, you may step down. If you'll just remove the microphone.
Thank you for reminding me, actually.
Sure. Any other witnesses from either side?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
None from defense.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll come back tomorrow and I'll hear arguments from both sides. And if both sides will be prepared to argue the motion to dismiss as well as the motion to suppress. And as stated, we'll take up the motion to suppress first. I'll make my ruling, and then we can take up the motion to dismiss.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else?
Yes, I have a question. Guys, what do you think? Do I continue with this tomorrow, or are we good here, or with this trial, with this whatever it is? Do I find regular content, or do we go back into Judge Boyd's courtroom again tomorrow? I mean, I think it's okay. I think he's nuts, and I want to hear him on the stand. So, yeah, okay. I know, Maiko. Here's what I'll do. I don't know what I'll do. I have some good Jersey stuff I wanted to play. We'll see. You know what? I know what I'll do if I have time, which I do because you don't have a job. I'm going to watch it ahead of time tomorrow, which is going to suck, which means I can't use that computer to record content. But I'm going to watch it ahead of time. No, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch it at double speed tomorrow night or tonight, whatever. And if I like it, if it's good, then I'll play it tomorrow. If it's not good, then I'll play Jersey. I got some Jersey stuff that I like. But I do want this to hear this guy if he gets on the stand. If we're just in motions hearings right now, it's not the trial. So he might just be sitting here for these hearings. So we might want to wait for the trial to pick this guy back up. I'll check it out. I understand your tastes. And I will check it out. I'll do what I can. Thank you so much for coming out. I don't know. OJ starts in a few minutes. So maybe I'll just start OJ early. So yes, Donald, yes, but no. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I have West Virginia. I do. Oh man, there's no way for me to sort what I have out. There's just no technical way to do it. the problem with West Virginia is it's only audio. I can't find it right now. It's fine. It's only audio. I can get a bunch of states. I can get so many states, but they're audio. I can get international courts too, but it's only audio. And I just don't think you guys would be able to do it. Yep, I can get North Carolina. That's the same thing too. Audio only. I can't find it right. I can't find it right now that I'm in the middle of a stream. But oh, never mind. Yeah. Maybe you can handle it. So maybe you guys, you 50 people would be able to be fine because you're in chat. But replay crew wouldn't be able to do just audio only. Like my live streams pull my numbers down hard. If I didn't do any live streams, my numbers would be through the roof. But if I did just an audio only, I would shoot myself right in the foot. I guess audio could be a Twitch thing. I don't know. Or a Discord thing. I don't know. I have to think. It can't be a YouTube thing unless I do it on a separate channel. I have to think about that. How to do audio only because you guys won't like it. Audio with cat videos, yeah. Or I could cook something. I could get a little hot plate right here, and I could cook. Cooking videos seem to be very popular, and all they do, they're all the same. They either make something with ham and cheese or something with ground beef and potatoes. So I can just keep putting ground beef and potatoes into a pot every night. Well, right. I'll have the camera facing down. You have you ever seen a video game like that being played, Kelly? It is outstandingly difficult to watch unless you understand the game. You would not understand what was going on at any second of the game. It goes lightning speed. So I could use puppets, sock puppets, like from the glove. I could make them from gloves. I don't know. There's so many things I could do because people do like to listen while they watch other content. I bet you did. I know you did, Micah, because you're the best. Maybe I should find some rug cleaning videos to play while we listen to the audio. Or what's another one? I had something and it's gone now. It's hard to talk to a camera. There was another one I had. Oh, we could speed up buildings. Like I built this shack in the woods with 2 pallets. Micah, there's nothing Micah can't do. I'll prove it to you. Micah's just going to find me the content for the rest of the week. Go, Micah, go. Don't use any YouTube judges. KS, thank you again for telling me about this craziness in this court. It really was crazy because chat completely stopped the whole time that recording was playing. Chat completely stopped. So that means they watched the video a little bit, which is freaking rare as hell on this channel. Just rare. All right, I'm going to go do OJ. Thank you so much for coming out. I really, really appreciate it. I'll see you all again really soon. Bye, guys.
she lights the way. Her eyes near a sky so blue. In her jokes there's a truth so true. With each string she brings the light, turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom, eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted charm, in a wake there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night, her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle she lights the way. Kathy's laugh